Okay, hi. We're going to start this term with color. So a quick lesson about applying color. Well, I'm going to draw this color this cube in red, a nice bright red color here. I also have with me some chalk, and I have a bit of metal which I can scrape the chalk off with. You can also use a knife for that. And I have a, well, this is a sort of makeup remover, a tissue, something like that, it's fine. Okay, so first thing you need to think about when you are applying color is the different tints. So we've been doing a lot with grey, values of grey. And now we're going to do the same thing with color. With your marker, you're going to have to combine a color with a grey on the shadow side of your object. So the first thing you need to do is you need to check which color works well with which grey tint. So I have here another piece of paper. I'm going to just put some grey here. That's a 4, and this is a 3, so it's going to probably be the 3 or the 4 that I want to use. So I've got the two grey tints, and now I'm going to wait for them to dry a little bit, and I'm going to go over with the red. And depending a little bit on the contrast of the tint you want, you could probably choose either one of those, but I want a nice dark side on the shadow, so I'm going to go with the 4. If it gets too grey, then you'll want to choose a lighter colour. So let's make a reasonably dark shadow here, shadow side. So I'll just start by colouring in this edge. I can go over this little mistake I made here earlier and make clear that this is the edge. I'll just that, and then I'll just quickly give this side a bit of grey tint. So those streaks, I'm not going to worry too much about them right now. Just let them be there. I'm going to go over with red. So now I've chosen my red tint. I'm going to go over this grey with the red, and that way I'm going to get a nice change. So let me just start on the bright side. So we want to have 3 tints in our product. We're going to have the vertical side in the light. So the light is coming from this side, you can see on the light direction. So this side, the vertical side in the light, you will want to give the real local color of your product. This is a red cube, it's this color. So the vertical side in the light is going to have the color in the same tint and the same tone of the product itself, or object. I'll let those streaks there. Now I'm going to go over towards the shadow side, and so you'll see going over the grey, just fill those edges in, gives me a darker tint of red, which will actually translate into approximately the right tonal value, but then in color. If you don't find it dark enough, you can always go over a few times with your color and it will get steadily darker. Okay, so got dark and a light side. This edge maybe a bit higher there. And then I'm going to just use this back corner. I'm going to draw a very sharp little line here and another one on this side. Oops. If you don't get the line exactly, it's okay. Okay, and now for the chalk. So I've got this chalk here. I'm going to use my knife. What you want to do is you want to scrape it off onto another piece of paper, and then you want to take your tissue and you want to dab it on there, and then you want to go over it on the top surface. We want to create a nice gradient. So the vertical surface, the horizontal surface, will usually, or most often, have a chalk gradient. It's a fairly standard system, but it works quite well, and it can help you just concentrate on the design and not worry too much about how you're going to draw it, because so we want to create a nice gradient. This can get smoother, so you can rub it off back in, like this. The clean bit, it should come off a bit, and you can always put more on the front. So you want the gradient to be darker at the front and lighter at the back. So from colour to transparent. Okay, and the next thing you can do is you can clean it up by getting an eraser and cleaning up the edges. So, oops, you don't want to get chalk all over your drawing because it does tend to smudge a bit. So be a little bit careful with that. And then you can also clean up, so we'll try and give a little highlight on these edges here by just rubbing off an edge, and that will show a really small little radius on that top edge. You could also use a white pencil and draw a little radius here. A little white line will usually translate in a drawing as a radius. Maybe take that edge out a bit. Okay, so that's basically it. Just to go over that again, you have the vertical surfaces in the light are the local colour, so without grey. The vertical surface in the shadow are grey marker with colour on top, and the horizontal surfaces with a chalk gradient.